Hey Gearfax friends, today I'm back in my hometown, Brisbane, Australia. I decided to take the red-eye flight just to save a bit of money, and I thought the scenery might be a little bit nicer as we took off too. It's pretty dry around the capital at this time of year, so I was really looking forward to getting back to that tropical lushness that Brisbane offers. The view as you fly over the Sand Islands and start the final approach towards Brisbane is truly fantastic. These are said to be the largest sand islands in the world. So this is my old stomping ground, as some first Australians might describe it. It's been exactly 5 years, and quite a lot has changed. This is one of Australia's fastest growing cities, and it really is growing upwards. Much of the city's heritage was lost between the 1960s and 1980s, but there are still glimpses. That wasn't there last time I crossed this street. Brisbane is a town that's really strong on music. I think I remember sometime in the early part of the new millennium, Rolling Stone magazine mentioned Brisbane as one of the cities in the world to watch for new independent music. And a lot of it begins here in the underground recesses of Fortitude Valley.
Practice good hygiene, stay home if unwell, and get tested if you have COVID-19 symptoms. For the most up-to-date information, visit the Queensland Health website. Standard
public information there. So I'm heading out to the suburbs to visit some old friends. And this is what much of the outlying city looks like. Nice wide streets, quaint heritage housing, and a blazing sun. It's still not a particularly large city by international standards, but the rate of growth over the last 5 years really amazed me. Not so long ago they used to call this the big country town. Getting close now to where I spent much of my youth, the Red Hill area. I was kind of happy to see that not so much had changed in this inner city suburb. Here's my old place, and people partying up on the roof, just like I did back in the day. Here we see the next long-term residence that I had, with a whole lot of police and firefighters out the front. It seems that this house was passed on to somebody who decided to run a bit of a meth lab downstairs. This resulted in a blast that shook half the street, and it was a bit sad because this is a very old house. I'm a bit surprised it stood the force of the explosion. It's a little bit sad to see though, because as we pan around here I see all the little renovations I made. I planted just about all those trees, and for the time I had it, it was a bit of a grand old place. Not looking too special anymore. But it's not all crowded and industrial. There are plenty of national parks in Brisbane, and they all look pretty much like this. Heading back to the airport now. I did a lot of work in the airports. Those offices over there are part of my old workplace, the Australian Quarantine and Inspection Service.
outside the yellow safety line before the train departs.
I also spent a few years working for the trains. We're pulling into the International Airport station now. Working on the trains was the best and worst of everything. The team was fantastic and I've got a lot of happy memories, but it could often be a really confronting job. And it's time to say goodbye to that lush green Brisbane landscape. Thanks for watching my video about Brisbane City, Gearfax friends. If you have any stories or thoughts about Brisbane, please leave them in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.